What's going on, you guys? This is going to be one of the most important videos I make on this channel, and it's one that probably a lot of people don't want to hear. Today we got the Shelby GT350, and I'm going to talk about how much you should make or how much money you should have saved to afford every type of car. Let's go for a drive. Alright, so the reason why I'm making a video on this topic is because since I've started this channel, well, we have been in so many cool cars, and I'm so grateful for this. This is a dream for me, but it's really making me want my own. But I need to reality check myself, and hopefully I can reality check you guys as well. So let's divide this up into price tiers. First of all, in the $0 to $10,000 range, I am not even going to talk about that range because anything below $10,000 for a car, I would describe that as a necessity. If you get anything over $10,000, you're really getting it because you want it. You do not need a car over $10,000. And there are sports cars or regular cars you can buy below 10K. But what we're really talking about are things above that. So if you're looking for a car in the 10 to 20K range, ideally, okay, there's a big debate with finance or buy outright. It depends on your own situation. There's no correct yes or no answer. If you're somebody that needs to build credit because you're planning on buying a house soon, okay, makes sense. Otherwise, ideally avoid debt, especially if you're in a career path or running a business for yourself that is not, stable. Because if you get fired from a job or your business flunks and then you have $800 monthly payments, you're done. And it's not just monthly payments. There's insurance, there's gas, there's maintenance, and stuff could just go wrong suddenly with your car. There's a lot to think about when you buy a car. So if you're looking for a car in the $10,000 to $20,000 price range, ideally you want to be making over $40,000 per year. And really we're talking about after-tax numbers here. Now, again, if you have like a $3,000 apartment monthly rent, that's dumb. Ideally, the amount of money you're doling out to rent or mortgage should be like roughly within the 25% range. So if you make 40K a year, take 25% of that, and that's how much you should be having going to rent or mortgage every single year. So if you're, excessively up there with your rent or mortgage payments, that's dumb to finance an expensive car. Also, this is just my opinion, I really would never, ever look at buying a car if you have a bunch of other debt. If it's a mortgage, okay, you could consider that an investment. But if you have student loans or credit card debt or personal debt, pay that off first before you do anything with buying a car, because that would not be smart to go in more debt when you already have something to take care of. Now, in the $10,000 to $20,000 range, you can look at like old BMW Z4s. You can look at old Mazda Miatas. You can get a Mustang EcoBoost. That's what I have. You could get a V6 Mustang. There's a lot of good cars in the 10 to 20K range. So that's a good range to look at. But next, if you're looking in the $10,000 to $20,000 range, or sorry, $20,000 to $30,000 range, this is where you can start looking at some V8 cars. So a little bit older used Camaro SSs. You could get like newer Camaro V6s. You could get a S550 Mustang GT, probably a 2015 to 2017 with a little bit of miles on it. That's, we're starting to talk about cars that are really in the good range. Here, you're going to want to be making over $60,000 per year. And again, the same rules that we previously talked about still apply. Ideally, having no other debt, not having an absurd amount going to your mortgage or rent every single month. And also another thing that wasn't mentioned is if you live at home with your parents and you are trying to get out of the house at least eventually, probably don't finance a car and go in a bunch of debt unless you have a good amount of cash saved up. And then you could just buy the car and still move out and have no issues with that at all. Next, if you're looking at a car in the $30,000 to $40,000 range, now we're getting somewhere good. We're talking C6 Corvette Stingrays, an S550 10-speed automatic Mustang GT, a nice Camaro SS. Not quite in the BMW M territory. You could probably get like an M240i, maybe, an older one. You could get a 330i, but yeah, nothing too nice with the BMWs and all that just yet. So, if you're in the $30,000 to $40,000 range, then you should be making, this is going to be a little bit of a tougher one, over $80,000 a year. And, oh, it's a nice WRX right there. If you're like, well, how do I do that? There's a lot of ways to do that. Personally, I realized that I need to start my own business. And I did that. I have a social media marketing consulting business on Fiverr. If you're familiar with that website, it is a freelancer website. You could go on there and post your own gig right now. I charge like $100 an hour, but don't be deceived. I don't get like tons of orders every single day, but it's just a nice side hustle. I also work I've been talking so much today, my throat. I also work at a Fortune 500 financial company doing, I'm just an intern, but it's business consulting. That pays me $25 an hour. I've had YouTube channels in the past, and I've saved up a lot of money from all of that. Just know, it's very realistic to aim for an $80,000 salary. However, by the way, you can compensate with how much car you can afford with how much money you have saved up. The rule there is that if you're going to outright buy a car, but you don't have a lot of income, or, maybe you're, just not working at all, then you should have, the car's value should be no more than 10% of your net worth. So if you wanted a $50,000 car, you got very little income, then you should have a net worth of over $500,000. That's a tougher one. But again, that's assuming you're retired or have no income. So that's a little bit different. By the way, guys, I'm kind of new to manual, so shifting and talking is not my forte right now. Next up, let's talk about the $40,000 to $50,000 range. And here, you can get used BMW M2s. You could get a used BMW M3. It may not be in the best condition. This car is in the $40,000 to $50,000 price range. It has a lot of miles on it, though, so I would probably wait for a bit of a lower mileage GT350. You could get a BMW, almost a BMW X3M. You could get a C7 Corvette. You could almost get a Mustang Mach-1. A lot of cars in the 40 to 50K range. That's a good place to be at. Here, you're going to want to be making over $100,000 per year, and or have a 40 to 50K, right? Yeah, or have a net worth of over $500,000 if you're going to buy the car outright in cash. You could not have that much of a net worth, but still pay it in cash if you have a good, high, secure income that falls within the over 100K range. Making over 100K a year, yeah, that's a tougher one, but nothing pisses me off more than people saying I'll never get there. That's so dumb. If you've never been to college, that's fine. You could do like a technical skill. Again, anyone can start their own business. I do have a master's degree in business, but in my opinion, that was a waste of money and it was also pretty worthless. Everything I'm doing right now, I could do that without this degree. So, college is stupid, in my opinion, unless it's like for a doctor, a lawyer, or some special skill. Then that actually makes sense. But like a business degree, it's like, dude, just go and do business. Unless you're trying to go work at like Goldman Sachs or something, or in my case, the Fortune 500 financial company I'm at. Yes, having this degree definitely helps, but it's not everything. So now if you want a car that's between 50 and 60,000, now you can definitely get a GT350. You can get a nice C6 Z06. Sorry, I'm not too, again, like I said, I'm kind of new to manual. First gear, clutch in. Okay, we're good. Here you're going to want to be making over 120,000 per year. And yeah, that's the range where you can get some nice cars. X3M competition, Shelby GT350, almost a C7 Z06 as well. I am personally, looking a little bit past that range. So instead of going in increments of 10,000, let's skip to the more exotic territory. Let's go to the $100,000 to $120,000 price range, and that's where I'm trying to be at, because then you could do a Lamborghini Gallardo, you could do a 2012 Audi R8 with lower mileage on it, you could do a 997, 911 Turbo Porsche, of course. There's a lot in the 100 to 120K range. That's where you really start to get like, okay, you're making it in life. And here, you want an income of definitely over 200K per year, or have a net worth of over $1 million per year if, not a lot of income and you're paying in cash. And yep, that's a tougher one. Again, it depends on your own personal lifestyle. If somehow you found a crazy way to cut your expenses a bunch, then you could make some wiggle room in that range that I just gave you. But again, we make money for a reason, to enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, it's not going to be a very fun time. But it's more important to be responsible. And as a car person myself, that's really, really, really tough to say. And that's going to piss a lot of people off. But seriously, patience shows the cars. If you see somebody with a brand new 911 Turbo and they're not some like inheritance kid or just won the lottery, then that shows they had patience. If you see somebody in a Mustang GT, in reality, anyone can own that. You could be a manager at McDonald's. Oh, green light. Not stall, don't stall. We're good. You could be a manager at McDonald's and be making enough to just finance a Mustang GT. Even if you're not within that range, you don't have to follow these ranges. These are just like guides if you want to be smart with your money. And be smart with your money, seriously. Because again, it's not just the monthly payments. It's insurance, interest, gas if you finance. So many things. It really all hits you once you buy the car. And then when you buy the car, you get used to it anyway. So that's why I think it's much smarter to just wait. Be patient. Be patient. Get to the point where you could buy the car, you could crash it, and be like, damn, like, that really hurts, but it's not the end of the world. And if you're in that position, you're in a good position to probably buy the car. So anyways, guys, I'll end with this. If you want a car over $200,000, like a Lamborghini Huracan, a used one, that's really entry level, like really good supercar territory, then you're going to want an income of over $400K a year or have a net worth of over $2 million. Now that one, yes, it's still attainable. I'm going to get there. I promise you I'm going to get there. Believe it or not. And you guys can get there too. It's just, do you believe in yourself? Everyone who locks themselves in a box and says stuff like, oh, I'll never get there. You're right. You will never get there because you just said it to yourself. But if you do believe you'll get there, then you will. That's GT right there. But we're in the GT350, so get wrecked. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to make this video because, well, I needed to give myself a reality check, and hopefully this helps you guys just get an idea for, can you afford the car? Or how patient should you be? And, you know, again, you don't have to follow this advice. I just kind of messed up my shit there. You definitely don't have to follow this advice. It's totally up to you. But just make note of it. And if you made it all the way through the video, at least now you know this information. And if you decide not to follow it, hey, it's totally your own personal choice. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it. I appreciate you. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments. I'm sure car people, you know, justify buying cars. I very well can myself too. And I don't blame you. Cars are fun. That's like the reason why I wake up in the morning, as probably sad as that sounds. But yeah, appreciate you. And let me know if you have any questions about anything I mentioned, and let me know what you think in the comments. Love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.